What's up YouTube? I'm here to do my prediction video for UFC 184. Let's start at the bottom. First fight, we got Macio Fullen versus Alexander Torres. I think both these guys were on the Ultimate Fighter Nations. You know, the Mexico versus like Argentina. I think Macio Fullen, I don't think either of these guys are that great, but I think Macio Fullen's got more experience, and I think that's what's going to be the big difference in this fight. I know Alexander's only got 1 or 2 fights, and Macio's got like 13 or 14, so I'm going to pick Macio by decision. Next we got James Krause versus Villermer Lazaro. I feel like this is just a throwaway fight to get James Krause back in the W section, so I'm going to pick James Krause. I say he wins by submission probably. Most of his wins are by submission. I'll say late second round. On to the prelim cards on Fox Sports 1. We got Derek Lewis versus Ruan Potts. I mean, Ruan Potts is basically a can, you know. He's got his ass well both of his UFC fights, and Derek Lewis has looked good in all of his fights except for the loss to Matt Mitrione where he just got caught. I think Derek Lewis wins this fight and puts himself back into that forward motion of being a top 15 guy. So Derek Lewis, first round knockout. Next we got Diego Lima versus Tim Means. I think this fight will be exactly like Tim Means' last fight, where he's just the bigger, better striker with better conditioning, and you know, Diego Lima, he's good everywhere, but he's not great anywhere. I just see Tim Means doing exactly what he did in his last fight, just hitting him when he wants, stuffing takedowns, getting takedowns, and winning a decision. So I'm gonna pick Tim Means by UD. Next we got Roman Salazar versus Kid Yamamoto. And, you know, this is really, I think, whether Kid wins or loses this fight, I think he should retire. And he hasn't fought in forever. I know he's almost 40, and he's had all those knee surgeries and stuff like that. I think whether he wins or loses, he should just, I hope he wins this one. I feel like that's what this is. I feel like this is a fight for him to just kind of win and then retire. And that's what I'm hoping. I hope he wins and then he retires. And I'm going to say he wins by first round knockout. Next, we got Mark Munoz versus Rowan Scenario. I think this is a fight between grapplers, but Mark Munoz is the much better grappler. I think Mark Munoz is going to be able to get the takedowns and just land his heavy ground and pound and get a late stoppage in the second, I think. You know, I don't know how much longer Mark Munoz has in his career. He hasn't looked great recently. I think this is a fight to you know, I definitely think he'll win this fight, but as for the fights after this, I have no idea. Next is Tony Ferguson versus Gleison Tibau, and as much as I want to pick Tony in this fight because I think he's the more exciting fighter and the better prospect, I think he leaves way too much openings that Gleison Tibau will capitalize on and will punish Tony for. Like, Tony will give up position a lot of the time to go for stuff, and I think Gleison Tibau, you know, is too good to get caught and stuff like that, and he'll just, you know, grind out a decision win. I think, you know, Tony's only weakness is that he leaves too much openings for better fighters to take advantage of, and I think Gleison Tibau is the type of guy that will do that. So Gleison Tibau by decision. Next we got Alan Jouban versus Richard Walsh, and this is basically two strikers, but Alan Jouban's, you know, he's fought the better people and he's looked better doing it, so I'm going to pick Jouban by TKO or decision. This fight isn't that great. This whole card isn't that great. It's just, you know, the main event, really. Next, we got Jake Allenberger versus Josh Koscheck, and I'll pick Josh Koscheck. I think the time off I think it'll be kind of like Frank Mir. I think the time off will really help him, but after, you know, just like with Mark Munoz, I have no idea how much longer he has in his career, and I think even if he wins this fight, he probably doesn't have much more time in the sport. Next is Raquel Pennington versus Holly Holm, and I think I'm glad Raquel Pennington won that last fight that she had, because that makes this fight a little bit more interesting, but I still think Holly Holmes is going to pick her apart and, you know, eventually get the finish late in the third. I think her striking is just going to be too much for Raquel. On to the main event, Ronda Rousey versus Cat Zingano, and I think Cat's the type of person who's going to win this fight. I don't know how, but I just think she's going to, you know, outwork Ronda, and I don't think she'll get trapped in anything like how Ronda traps a lot of people. I think Cat's too good on the ground for that. I think Cat will lose the first couple rounds, but then come back towards the end and, you know, get a comeback finish. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.